Hey, it's Jacob Wheeler, and you are listening to Jigs and Bigs.
Welcome. It's another episode of Jigs and Friggin' Bigs, and here we are. I'm your host, Bobby Roastbeef, and let me tell you, what a crazy week we have had around here at the old J&B HQ this week. As we wind down from the May Team Tournament Series monthly online tournament, it's been kind of wild, to be completely honest. We've got Binya coming up later on in segment number 1, bringing us the latest information about the standings and what's on the horizon as we roll out of the month of May. Big news in the land of Hookset Hoodlums, as Hoodlum Fest 2026 has actually been announced. Yeah, it's happening, and it's a thing. We have some details on how we, Jigs and Bigs, are going to be involved and how you can be involved as well. Plus, we have a handful of FTGs, a couple of them lined up, and some great feedback about confidence bait addiction from last week's show. That's coming up in the live well. And we also have a bit about post-spawn bass. You definitely do not want to miss any of this show. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far. More Jigs and Bigs coming up. Absolutely true. Thank you, jig heads, everybody who is here and experiencing the show as we get into things here. Like I said before, I am your host, Bobby Roastbeef. You guys might notice, jig heads, that the one and only Who the Fuck is Joe Brown is not with me. And that is because today at approximately like 10:30, 11 a.m., something like that, I got a text from the one and only American Vet Fishing himself. And he was like,
bro, I forgot. I have a concert for my daughter. It's tonight. Oh my goodness.
So I told him, hey, take the night off, go do your thing, make these things happen. I can make this show happen on my own. We were going to have Binya in-house and, to deliver the standings for what's going on with May as we start to come out of the end of the month. Actually, by the time the show drops, May will be over, but there's still a couple of days left and things could get kind of crazy. So all that will obviously be rolled into next week's episode. But before I get too far here, let's go ahead and jump in and talk about a couple of things. For those of you that maybe are just tuning in to Jigs and Bigs for the first time, maybe somebody, a fishing buddy perhaps, had said, hey, you should check out this podcast. I think you'd like it. Well, thanks for being here. First off, we appreciate that. Welcome to Jigs and Bigs. We are a weekly fishing podcast. We talk about all things involving the fishing community. We talk a little bit about tournaments. We talk a lot about technique. We talk a lot about our own stories and journeys. We share stories with listeners and guests. All kinds of good stuff that we have lined up. And it is a weekly show. We drop one big episode every week. So you guys really have something to sink your teeth into. We are on all the social media platforms. I actually just uploaded a TikTok yesterday as we speak of as we speak about this, because I have not really done a whole lot with TikTok in a while. But we're on TikTok, we're on Instagram, we're on everything. I'm going to take a quick moment. I just got a text from my co-host who is at a concert for his daughter, and he is. I'm gonna have to go and dig up the link now. You know what? Screw him. He's going to have to find it on his own. It's on Facebook. I decided to make this one public for everybody if they want to join in and get that jig head experience. I keep saying jig head. Let me introduce the jig heads, folks. Our jig heads are essentially our Patreon followers. We've got a Patreon where you can subscribe for $5 a month. There is a free option too, but you don't get all of the stuff with that. It basically gets you access to the making of this show. Plus, anytime we're working with some partners, and you can look at our partners list in the links that are in the description of this show, we try to offer anything extra if possible to the jig heads, or advance discount codes and things like that anytime that we're able to make that work, because we like to take care of our supporters, and really they're the ones that kind of keep the lights on and keep things going when it comes to all things jigs and bigs. So shout out to the jig heads. Appreciate you guys for jumping in here. We do a lot more than just talk on the internet too. Like I said, we're on social media. We're on, we have a YouTube channel as well. Feel free to go ahead and subscribe there. But on top of that, we do online tournaments, and these are all catch, photo, release, and most of them are very inclusive. So regardless of you being in a kayak, on a boat, from the bank, however you like to fish, we just want to involve everybody. So we do some really interesting stuff. We just kicked off a team tournament trail, which is a whole lot of fun, and people have been absolutely having a blast with it. Now, we've only got one small pocket of the country that we're focusing on right now. This is like a testing season. It's looking like next year it's going nationwide. So if you are not in that region, that is a legal region right now, you will be soon, very soon. By the time next spring rolls around, you should be already lined up with your teammate ready to play. We also do a nationwide slot limit bass tournament series, and that is a whole lot of fun because it evens the playing field for everybody. So whether you're up north in New England like I am, or you're down south in Texas or Louisiana, it's sort of an even playing field for your typical angler. And that's a good thing. So it's a whole lot of fun. It's a catch 'em all style. Catch as many fish as you can within the slot. And basically the most overall inches wins. And it's a whole lot of fun. So we have that going on. We've got some merch for you at jigsandbigs.com. You can check out if you want to rock logo t-shirts or hats or anything. Our team, Big Jig Energy, in that team series, we have some merch available. You want to rock a little Big Jig Energy logos, you can absolutely do that. And of course, if you're listening to the show right now, one of the biggest things that really does help the show go on that's absolutely free is rating and reviewing the show. So if you're listening on Spotify, you can rate the show there with a star rating. If you're listening on Apple Podcasts, it's probably our biggest platform right now. Definitely give us a rating over there. A review goes even further, and we cannot thank you enough for your support that way. One final thing before we jump into it, you guys are going to hear some stuff tonight that is phone calls from some of and text message actually this week from some of our listeners. We've asked questions, a little call to action in some previous episodes, and this week we've got a bunch of calls that came in, and those all came in through the Jigs and Bigs hotline. That number is 413-324-8519. Whether you just want to say, hey, what's up, ask a question, you can call or text us there. You can also submit your submission for our FTG segment. That stands for Fuck That Guy. If somebody's done you wrong on the water, we actually have a song all about it too. But if somebody's done you wrong on the water, it could be some boat ramp shenanigans. It could be a Karen kicking you off a public property. It could be a fishing buddy of yours that just can't seem to make things happen and is blowing up your really good reels left and right. You can call that number and kind of call them out a little bit. Plus, we've got a live well segment, which is like a big old mailbag. We talk, we answer questions there. We kind of push the conversation throughout various episodes. It's a lot of fun, and this week we've got a great one lined up for you. So with all that said, I appreciate you guys. Thanks for checking out the show. Subscribe on all the socials, and let's go ahead and get into it. Now, I've had a week. My week was kind of nuts, actually. And some of you guys already know because I posted about some of it on social media and everything. We got a bunch of freaking dudes in here. We got, let's just welcome some of the jig heads we got in here. We got John Carter in here. We got Ian Jemerson in here. We got Dan Griffin. We got the one and only Canadian Koala. We got, who else we have in here? We got Burt Ward in the house. We got John Hagens, the multi-species scavenger hunt champion, by the way, en route to another tournament, I guess, right now, which is just kind of nuts. We got Eli Self in here jumping in. He asked a question. He goes, did you listen to Mercer, the Mercer podcast episode with Jaron Clinch, boat number 26, in the Bassmaster Classic on day 33, on day 3? So I did not listen to that podcast, Eli. I did watch it on Jaron's YouTube channel. I like Jaron's content. It's entertaining. It's fun. Like, it's not pretentious. It's so good. And when I saw that, I was like, this kid knows the deal. Like, he is smart. So for those that don't know, I think his Instagram is, I think, Buddy Jaron. And Jaron Clinch had taking a bit of a road trip, and he went down to the Bassmaster Classic this last March. And while he was down there, he bought a John boat, just bought a small boat with a small outboard and rigged it up real simple, and then just like had fished essentially with those anglers, just chasing them around. Well, I say chasing them around, but going spot to spot. And there was one point, I think it was a blast off on day 3, where he actually like motored around and got into line after the last boat had gone out and followed out through there. And Dave Mercer kind of called him on it. It was pretty cool, man. Let's go ahead. Could be Canadian leaving douche comments all the time. Oh, yeah. No, I love those douche comments, Nick. I appreciate and love those douche comments. So let's talk about my week. What's going on this week? It was kind of a wild week, to be totally honest. We recorded the show last Friday, so Saturday morning I got up pretty early, and I decided I would kind of play it by ear and see what was going on with the weather. I have been wanting to fish this one body of water for a while now, and it's just never worked out. And I mean, to be completely honest, this one spot does not deliver huge fish at all. I mean, I've heard stories of there being absolute giants in there. It's kind of a dink fest, and that's what happened with me on Saturday. But there were so many dink smallies, and I was fishing. A lot of my confidence stuff, given the conditions that we had that day, it was like slick, calm water, like it was pristine. But we did have some rain, so my intention was to go and make a video, and that didn't work out. So kept the cameras away. I did record some stuff to put a reel out on Instagram, which is great. I caught a bunch of dinks. I caught most of them on a finesse swim bait, but I started playing around I started using one of my BFS combos, one of my bait finesse combos, the one that is my ultralight one, actually, with the Arc Avid reel. That's the new bait finesse reel from Arc. And I've been playing around with like the urchin style baits and stuff like that, and they just wanted something like really, really compact. So what I actually did was I took a 3.5 inch Ned worm from Robo Worm, and I put it on a wacky hook, a weedless wacky hook with like a couple of little tungsten or titanium arms on it to keep it from getting snagged up in any of the stuff. And this reservoir I was at was flooded. It was flooded. I was just skipping this thing into treetops. Like, that's how high up this water was. I was just able to, like, motoring around these treetops and fishing them from all over the place. And I was catching these dink smallies, and it was a whole lot of fun, especially on ultralight gear. Dude, they are so much fun. But the weather was just relentless. Like, I had gone out, I don't know what the hell I was expecting. I was not expecting it to drop in temp the way that it did. But I went out wearing shorts and a sun shirt, a hooded sun shirt, and I brought my hoodie out with me because as I was driving down there, I'm like, well, I'm going to throw my hoodie on. It's a little bit chilly. We'll see what's up. And as the rain came down, man, I was hurting. It was freezing. I ended up in my bibs. I was wearing Crocs. It's the second time I've done this where I've had to put my bibs on just to kind of add like an extra layer. But again, because my feet are quasi exposed, I'm freezing. I fished for about half the day, and I said, you know what? Screw it. I'm going to go home, call it, warm up. And it's a good thing that I did, because the next day, Saturday, we got crazy rain, but it was freezing that day. It was so cold. So I just stayed in and took it real easy. Now, Monday, I wasn't actually even planning on going out to fish. My wife had asked me Monday was Memorial Day. She wanted me to cook out in the backyard. So that's what we did. We had a little cookout in the backyard, just nothing crazy, but we had a real good time. And then she had some running around in the afternoon, which I realized gave me a few hours. Now, this is where things turned around for me. So I had a few hours to fool around with before I had to work that evening. I had to host trivia at my regular Monday venue, the Boulevard over in Springfield. And I decided I would go over to Congamon Junior, as we affectionately call it. And my goal has been to just kind of put a dent into some of the baits from this multi-species creek box that Dark Horse Tackle has. Now, I'm kind of privy to a lot of these baits. Like some of the ones that are already in there, I'm very, very schooled with and have been using for a while. But there is some new shit that's in that box that is pretty unbelievable. I can't talk about it yet, but pre-sales are available over at darkhorse.com, darkhorsetackle.com. So you can go and pre-order it right now. I believe it actually goes live on the 11th of June, if I'm not mistaken. So my goal was, this body of water just churns out dink bass and little snot rocket chain pickerel all day long. And that's what it did. And I'll be honest with you, that's all I really cared about was just like trying out these baits. Once I kind of got a few bites on them, I would switch it up and then let it rip. So I covered a good amount of area. I really did. There was one bank where I caught a good handful on, and then I went to got out to this point and then fished the other side of the point along that bank all the way down. And that's where I really cleaned house. I think in total I caught 30 fish. 6 or 7 of those were the snot rocket chain pickerel, right? The rest were all bass. And those bass were like heavy in the 9 to 11 inch window. That's pretty much where it is. You know what I mean? The 9 to 11 inch window is this place is overrun with them. Now I've caught some big fish there in the past, but they are really hard to find, like really, really hard to find. Well, I was debating. I'm like, do I just want to fish until I have to leave to go to trivia and just take the boat with me? Or do I want to get off the water early enough to drop the boat back off at home and then go to work? And I was like, I think I'm going to bring the boat with me. I really do. I think I'm just going to bring the boat with me. So I was going to fish right until I had to pop the boat back on the trailer and then go to work. And I get over to this one spot, and this was so fucking cool. I get over to this one spot, and I've fished over by this dock a million times. There's a bunch of houses on this lake. They've all got their docks in now, and everybody, because it's Memorial Day weekend too, there's like just fucking pontoon boats all over the place. And this isn't like the type of spot that is really conducive for like wake boats or anything like that. But you get the occasional jet ski that's a pain in the ass. But you get pontoons that are just cruising all over the place. Folks, they just like to be nosy and see what everybody's doing and just go around. And I'm kind of dodging those, and I'm fishing these docks. And this one dock has this pretty good pronounced patch of weeds. And they're growing up pretty good. And I make a cast over into this, and I'm throwing a very small plastic from Big Joshy on a very, very light, like a 16th ounce jig with a tiny hook. And like I said, this thing was beaten up. Like like Big Joshies have some staying power. Like they can hold on pretty good. They're not like Kytex that get ripped after a couple of fish. These are pretty good. This guy was in rough shape. I was a little amazed he was still even staying on the hook, but I was like, I'm going to fish this thing till it falls off. Like, let's just go. And I make this one cast, and this was on which rod was it? This was a 6-foot light, moderate fast. This is a custom rod from Pig Jigs. And the reel I use on this is the original Gravity BFS from Arc. And I was throwing 10-pound, 10-pound braided line to a 4-pound leader. And I put in the boat a 20.5 inch, 4-pound, 1 ounce post-spawn brute. And I say post-spawn because this fish had an enormous head and just skin and bones all the way down, all 20.5 inches right there. But the best part was Bobby Roast Beef loves when he's out fishing and he's got an audience. I host game shows. I'm a DJ. I played drums in bands for I don't even know how long. I am a bit of an exhibitionist. You know what I mean? I am. I'm a bit of an exhibitionist. Can somebody do me a favor and text Joe Brown the link to the live stream? I'm in the midst of recording this show, and he's just like, dude, text me the link. You're at your daughter's concert. Her concert ended early because of weather. Oh, all right. I'm going to go ahead and invite Joe in here. We'll do this. I'm going to take a moment. And you guys, you're seeing it live. We say, what's the Jig Head experience? We say that it's all about seeing how the sausage is made, and that's what's going on. Here we go. All right, so I'll send it to him. He's happy. I almost wonder if I should just start over, but I won't. I won't put you guys through that. So I catch this absolute tank, and the dude who is in the house, the house that owns that dock, I have he's on the porch or something, like having a beer, and he sees this fish hit the surface, and I hear him in the background. He's,
holy shit, that's the biggest fish I've seen this year.
and I am loving that shit. I'm all about it. And then there was a pontoon boat coming right by me, sees me get the fish into the net. They do a little bit of a loop and come back around to watch. And I'm getting the whole like, oh, that's got to be 5, 6. That's a huge fish. That's huge. As soon as I got it in the net, I saw how skinny it was. I'm like, yep, this is a post spawner right here. I was like, big ass head, big head. I'm holding this fish, and I'm looking down into its mouth, and this tiny little plastic was right down in the gullet, like right there. Any closer, and it would have been sketchy retrieving that hook would have gone straight down his throat immediately. And as soon as I just pulled on the line, it just came right out. Beautiful. I'm like, this is awesome. I measure the fish, put the identifier on, enter that, and submitted what is currently the largest fish in the stringer for Big Jig Energy. So I feel very accomplished right there. I'm one of these folks, and I don't know, jig heads, maybe you agree. Like if I catch something that's like that and it's like close to the end of the day, I'm done. I don't even need to make that other cast or anything like that. Like, I'm done. I'm like, all right, we'll keep moving. You know, we'll keep the show going, whatever. I'm good at this point. Like, how much better is this going to get? So I took that opportunity to go and drop off the boat, go to work. I was so excited, my guys. I'm telling you, it was just wild. It was just absolutely wild how it all went down. So here's the deal. All right. I get this fish. I'm feeling good. Monday ends, I'm kind of celebrating at trivia a little bit. It's a little ridiculous, but it is what it is. Tuesday, I finally did something I've been meaning to do for a little while, and that was to take a day and spend it at the range. Just take a day and spend it at the range, doing my thing. And man, I got to tell you guys, I forgot how expensive ammo is. I put 200 rounds through my gun. Just because I was like, I feel like I had to play catch up a little bit. I put 200 rounds through it, and 50 rounds of my defensive stuff that I like, which is 38 Special Plus P. Holy shit. What a difference. Oh, here he is. Here's Joe Brown. So we are...
I'm a mess.
Yeah, you are a mess. I'm going to mute you for a minute. All right, go ahead. He's putting his headphones on. Yeah, you are a mess. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah.
This is the second week in a row this show has stepped into that Hoodlum cast territory. It's awesome. It's awesome. Binya was on handgun or rifle, Ian says. Handgun. I got, I'll show you. This butte right here, little J-frame. Immediately, my camera makes me disappear immediately. I love it. I absolutely love it. So I had a good time. It was a lot of fun, and I was smart when I was at the range too. Like I had a marker, and I was writing on my targets. I was like, okay, so this one I shot at this distance. This is what I shot it with. This is primarily where the focus was. I got things kind of dialed pretty good. I was pretty stoked overall. So good fish, range day, solid Tuesday. I can't complain. We move on to Wednesday. Wednesday was just a waste. I just took that day to get a few things handled. The nice thing was with Monday, I have a wedding coming up this coming Saturday, tomorrow. And this couple is so on it that I got so much done so early. I expected I was going to be so busy that afternoon. It's because of them I was able to get out and fish on Monday. So I got to thank them when I see them. Thursday. So here's what the deal that went down on Thursday. Wednesday, I did something for my wife I needed to get done. I ordered her a new cell phone. And the one that I wanted to get for her, there was nothing like in a store where I could just go pick it up. So I had to have it shipped, and it was supposed to arrive on Thursday. Well, it did, but it did at like 8 p.m. Like, it was ridiculous. So I was told I had to sign for it. So I hung out that entire day. I was going to fish on Thursday, and I didn't because I thought I had to sign for this. Come to find out, no, we didn't have to sign for it. They just dropped it off with no problem. What a waste. Verizon, Jesus. I wasted a whole day for no good reason. But I did something that was really good. I took this opportunity to record some content for YouTube. Actually, I did a version for Instagram and everything, and TikTok, actually. And it's just this little, like, 3-minute long, like, video talking about, like, the importance of taking that opportunity that if you have to fish. You know, if you have that couple hours in the afternoon after you're done work and you're like, yeah, you know, there's a spot that I go by. Yeah, make that opportunity to go there, because you never know when the bigs are actually going to hit. But you do know 100% you're not going to catch them if you are on the couch. That's just the way it works. And I put that together and felt pretty accomplished about that. So that was really cool. That brings us to today. Joe, I got to tell you. So you remember when you fished?
Let's hear it.
Today was amazing. I'm going to go through the bag that I caught today. I caught 10 fish. I was only out for 4 hours, right? In fact, dude, this was ridiculous. Okay. I get to the water and it's like, because that's the thing. I got to, run my daughter to school, come back home, hook up the trailer, get the dogs all situated. Like, it's 8:30 in the morning when I leave at the very earliest. So I got down to the water for about like 9:15, maybe closer to 9:30. I did stop and grab ice and drinks and snacks and all that stuff. So I go and I get to the water, and Joe, you remember when you fished Congamond?
Yes.
So you did well. Like, weren't those 19s you put in from there?
Was that there? No. I put in, I think the biggest one I put in there was 16 and a half, 17.
Oh, okay. So that actually
South Pond is where I got the big ones.
South? Oh, all right. Okay.
Yeah.
That makes sense. See, I've never caught bigs out of South, but so I go and, when you were at Congamon, the area that you were fishing, and I was like, I've never fished up there. Well,
yep.
I am absolutely taking the opportunity to fish up there. And I'm like, I'm going for it. So instead of like rigging everything in my boat, so I've got rods sticking up and everything, I got to go under a bridge. So I leave everything. Same thing when I fish the South Pond. Like, I got to go under this bridge. It's stupid. I get there almost every time and I'm like, son of a bitch. So I get out there and I get out there and I'm about to like get started, and I drop the trolling motor and I'm just going to throw spot lock on and get the boat set up and get things in order. And I'm like, here we go. My remote is just acting up. I'm like, what the fuck? So it's been giving me some issues like all season, like off and on, like nothing regular. So I'm like, this whole time I've been writing it off as if it was like there was some freaky fucking interference or something going on, and it wasn't the battery.
It was 100% the battery.
I pack everything up and I'm like, I have more batteries in my truck. So I go back, I beach the boat, run up to the truck, grab the batteries, come back in, and I change out the battery, get out there, works no problem. All day long. Work no problem. So, hey, that's a win. Here's the kicker. Because of this, I was a little bit further behind when I wanted to start. But the good news is I had plenty of time lined up today because my daughter has chorus. So I pick her up later. I'm like, okay, send it. We're going to make it work. This is going to be great. When I get back into the boat, there's this other tracker that's nearby the launch, and they're just taking off, and they're in front of me. And they're like, oh, yeah, how'd you do up there? I was like, man, I barely even got a line in. I'm like, I just had to change my batteries. We go over. These motherfuckers pull right up to the spot where I was about to start.
You should have told them that I didn't catch shit up there.
I know. That's exactly what I should have said. But it would have looked fucked up because I followed them right back in there. So I was like, all right, I'm just going to fish the other side and follow where they're going. Now, I fished with a little bit more focus than I think they did. They were just like covering water. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. But yeah. I was fishing. There's up there. There's a bunch of weeds, and I was fishing primarily a finesse swim bait, right? 3.5 inch finesse swim bait on a light jig head, 3/16 of an ounce. Nothing crazy because it is relatively shallow up there. And I was seeing beds everywhere, but those beds
empty.
Totally empty. Still didn't look like a mess, but like totally. I saw the same thing on Monday when I caught that big. Just beds everywhere that were just empty. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, we'll go ahead. We'll target the grass. We'll target the edges. We'll target docks. Figure it all out. And I was throwing 2 baits that got it done today. And I mentioned the wacky I was throwing earlier. I started throwing on Thursday. I've been throwing this 3.5 inch Ned worm from RoboWorm on a weightless, what do you call a weightless wacky? A weedless wacky hook. And I've been throwing it on my ultralight BFS combo. And I love it, dude. I can skip with this motherfucker. Like you like the reels that you see where like these dudes in Japan skip, and it's like I swear, that. I was like, okay, maybe we're on to something here. So I'm like, and I'm fooling around with some stuff. I also tied on a swim jig because there was a lot of grass, and I'm like, I'm gonna bomb into the middle of it and swim it out, and see what we can get hooked up with. I caught 10 fish total, right? 2 of those were chain pickerel. One of them, little snot rocket. One was pretty good. One was probably a 20-incher. Not too bad. That was fun. That was real fun.
Oh, okay.
I caught a couple of rock bass too, right? So that's 4. So the other 6 that I caught I had 2 that were 12, like on the nose. One almost hit 12 1/4. I had 2 14s. Same story there. A 14 3/4 and a 16 1/4. Those are my 6 largemouth.
Not bad. Not bad.
Not a bad bag for 5 fish up there. I was like, in 4 hours. Had I done some other work, I was starting to figure some things out too before I ran out of time. I had to get off the water, but it was solid. So I had gone probably about 2 hours without hooking up. I did see a big along a weed edge nearby a bed that would just kind of like scoot into the shadows of the weeds and then come back up, and I would see it. And I tried to throw that wacky over there and see if I could get it to bite. Nothing. Threw that, what do you call it? I threw that finesse swim bait up there. Nothing. I got nothing at all on the swim jig whatsoever. But it seemed to turn around at one point where it was just fire, where that's where most of the largemouth were. Like I got around to this one point and I was like, okay, I'm starting to figure out where the depth is, where they're like relating, all this shit. Now I was using a really natural looking swim bait, and I had not a full pack of them. I think I had like 4 of them in this pack, and this thing, they was just getting beaten up by these fish. Like, you know how Kitex are. Yeah. They're great plastics. Sure. They're not durable plastics. Like they're very, very prone to getting ripped up real good. And I know a couple of tricks with Kitex too, how to get a little bit more life out of them. Like, you know how they'll tear in that groove at the top where the hook is? Lots of times I will initially run that hook so it's like not dead center, so there's a little bit more plastic underneath, where I can run it below where that where that path initially was. So if it does get torn up pretty good, I can run it back through, and I'm like, okay, well, we're good for maybe one more fish. But again, like the action is just, it's great. It's definitely something I rely on big time. So I'm throwing this around and it's just getting munched. I used the last one in that pack, and I'm like, I only have one more pack in this color in my dry bag. I'm going to go ahead and get cute. Now, back in October, Joe, have you ever seen Kitex Fire Tiger color?
Oh, yeah. Yep.
It is the stupidest looking shit I've ever seen.
Oh, yeah.
It is.
I agree. But
Fire Tiger. That's right. But like, it's weird because the back is almost like a teal. Like it's like like it's weird. It's like a teal color, and then the belly.
Yeah, it's not like it's not like a stereotypical Fire Tiger.
Yeah, it's very different, dude. I was like, I had done really well at that point. I think I was No, I caught. So I decided I'd put this on just to see how this would play out. I caught 2 more. I caught another largemouth and a chain pickerel. No, I'm sorry, not a chain pickerel, a rock bass and a largemouth. I was like, okay, all right. So maybe this isn't the fucking color. It's nice because that color shows up a lot clearer in the water. So like when it gets munched, you just see it disappear, which is kind of nice given the water clarity we had today. But it was really good, man. We had ourselves a good freaking time. Got off the water, picked up my kid, came home, made the decision. I was like, hey, guess what we're doing for dinner? Took everybody out for ice cream.
Hell yeah, dude. We haven't had one of those nights in a while, but I love those, dude.
We only do like one a year, but I was like, and at first my wife is like, I'm not really feeling it. I was like, I'm going to go to Northside. You know where Northside Creamery is.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
Dude, it's the best. I said that and she was like, let's go. I'll warm up the car. I was like, all right, let's go. So I just came back, belly full of cannoli and cone chip ice cream. Like I'm a happy boy. It was really good. How was your week, Joe, for fishy shit?
Oh man,
was there any
so
fishy
sorry
shit?
about the late start, guys. Sorry, we didn't think Joe was going to make it tonight because my daughter had her concert, but they had it outdoors and it started to sprinkle a little bit, and Emma's class already went. So I was like, Meg and I looked at each other. I was like, hey, you want to get the fuck out of here? She's like, yeah. So we did that. So that's why I'm late, guys. Man, my week. So it started. I mean, the last time I was here, I was camping. I was in the brown bus.
Yep.
And up on Saco on the Saco River, and dude, it was Friday and Saturday were awesome. Sunday, oh my god, dude, we got poured on all day long.
Yeah,
we sat
you got
in
it
there
too, huh?
in the rain and just, pouring. And our site, dude, turned into a fucking lake.
Really that bad?
It was awful. Yeah, dude, the dogs just slept all day. We watched the entire like new season of that show Alone, like that survival show. We watched that. And dude, we DoorDash. We were right by the gate, kind of. We DoorDash Lego sets. We put together like Lego sets and shit. I built the Ronald Weasley and Harry Potter car when they stole the car. I built that. So from Harry Potter. But no, Saturday night was good, dude. My best friend came up, the one I joined the military with. Yep. He came up with his family. We got absolutely crooked, dude. Drank a million beers. And in total campground fashion, they had like some like events going on, and they had a sunflower seed spitting contest. So we're like, let's go up and check it out. This will be funny to watch. And like when my buddy wasn't looking, I went and signed him up.
Of course you did.
Or no, actually, no. Let me back this up. I went and had Jeremiah go sign him up.
Okay.
Right. I go, hey, go put Mike's name up there. And I was like, he's not paying attention. He's not going to know you're doing it.
Yeah.
So he does.
He's totally going to think you're doing it.
That motherfucker put my name too. So it was so funny. Like they had it in like age groups. So the boys did it. Jeremiah almost won his age group.
Really?
Like, Jeremiah almost won his age group. Yeah. And then and then Mike and I, like the adults are going, dude, some of these guys were so fucking into it. It was like, I was like,
kind of stupid,
God.
right?
Like they like have a camp record, dude. That like hasn't been beaten since like 2022 or whatever. Jesus. And so I granted, I'm 1,000 beers in. Mike goes first, dude. He gets like, all right. So the camp record for the guys or for adults was 30 feet and 10 inches. Right.
That's pretty good.
That was the camp record.
Yeah.
Mike's pit. He's like, dude, I'm going back. He's like, I'm not doing this. I was like, well, he signed me up too, so I'm doing it with you.
We're in this together.
Like, all right. So, dude, he does it. camp record is 30 feet 10 inches. This
Shut the fuck
motherfucker
up.
gets 30 feet 6 inches.
Are you-
Almost beats the camp record.
It's fucking amazing.
Dude, I get up there, I get 10 feet. The thing like just like fell out of my, more spit came out of my mouth than anything.
Well, I'm curious, Joe, when they do it, do they make you like eat the seeds? So you're spitting the seed, the shell? Like,
No, you just put the whole thing. It's like with those, it's like the jumbo sunflowers that you just, the whole thing.
See, I think that
And
helps.
I was like, I don't know. Is there like a fucking technique to this? I don't know. And there apparently is. So I was like, you motherfucker. I was like, you're such a one-upping motherfucker, dude. You've been since we were fucking 12.
You'd have
like,
never
fucking hate
heard
you,
the
dude.
end of it if he broke that record. You'd have never heard the end of it. It would have been amazing. Your retirement party, he would have made a speech and been like,
Yeah, Joe, you remember Octua?
fucking.
So he won the whole thing he won the whole thing. So I've been like secretly telling people at work
Oh,
to
you
just
have
start
to.
calling him champ. I just been telling him to start calling him champ. And he still like hasn't caught on to why people are calling him champ. So I'm waiting for him to come to me and be like, "Hey man, why are people calling me champ?"
The fuck are you doing, man?
And, So dude. So we did that. The kids. Big news, Bobby.
Okay.
Emma went from training wheels to riding a bike in one day at the campground.
No. Well, that doesn't
Yep.
surprise me. That does not surprise me.
Yep.
If there's a kid,
Yep.
it's Emma.
Oh yeah.
If there's a kid that can do that, it's Emma.
Yeah.
Holy
So
shit.
she did that, and it's like a shitty bike to learn on. It's more of like her grandparents got it for. It's more like it, dude. It's like got two baskets on it, a fucking banana seat, dude. It's like the worst bike to learn on, and she did it. So now I got to buy her like a fucking decent bike.
Get her like a mongoose with
so
pegs
so
and shit.
we went back. Yeah, dude. Something I'll end up buying her something cool, and Meg will be mad at me. But dude, Jeremiah has like a $700 fucking bike, dude.
Oh,
Like I brought them. I was like, hey, because like we go all out on them because their dad, single income, like we
sure, yeah.
like, so we kind of go all out on them. And I brought them to the bike store, and I pretty much was like, hey guys, like whatever you want.
What do you
like,
want?
Let's within reason. You know what I mean? Jeremiah sees this bike that's like color, like whatever. Love the color. I'm like, okay, let me look. It's like $780 or something. I'm like, oh my God. I'm like, okay. Jackson. So now I'm like, oh, Jackson's gonna want the same one, dude. He goes and picks a Huffy. He's like, I really like this one. So I was like,
deal.
are you sure, dude? So it's like he's got like $140 bike. Jeremiah's got like a 7. I was like, okay. But anyway, so after that, dude, we fucking we went back. Half of Mike's family went back to their site. Mike came back with us. We chilled by the fire, dude.
Yep.
Put up the busted out the TV that's outside of the RV. Fucking put on. I think
You guys
he
are
put
camping.
on like Super Troopers or something.
Nice.
You know what I mean?
It's a perfect camping movie.
just like. Oh yeah, dude! It just kicked it, cranked beers, and it was awesome. And then like Sunday, like I said, it was a total fucking washout. And then Monday morning, also a total washout when I was picking up up in the
That would've
pouring
sucked.
rain, bro.
Yep.
Like pouring rain. I was like, well, I guess I better get used to this quick. You know what I mean? And I'm talking like pouring rain. Like
Monday was
Oh,
rough.
God,
It was coming down
torrential.
pretty significant. And I was like, and then it cleared
Yep.
up. It was great.
yeah, dude, like an hour after we hit the road, it's fucking like sunny out. The birds are chirping. I was like, oh, you got to be shitting me.
So let me
And,
ask you this. With all the indoor togetherness and everything like that, was your rule?
No one got killed.
No, well, I mean, I assumed as much there. We would have heard something about that, but I know that you
Yep.
guys had a rule that nobody poops in the bus. Have you had to clean
Everyone
the
pooped in the bus.
Yeah, that's what I expected. How is the bathroom?
Yep. It's actually like nice. It's smaller, but like nicer than the bathrooms
Yeah.
in my house.
Mhm.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
The water's all the shower is great, tiny, but it's a camper, but shower's great. The bathroom's fine. It's dude, there's it's got fans and shit. So if someone takes a shit in there, you can't even tell, dude.
That's
it
nice.
doesn't stink or anything. It's got crazy fans. So that was my first time cleaning the shit pipe when there was actually shit in there. So that's good. So so picking that up in the pouring rain, dude, that was awesome. But yeah, dude, we had an absolute blast, dude. I can tell you right now, we are now straight up RVers, dude. We want to go every fucking weekend
dude.
now.
Good.
Dude, it's so good. We got to have you and we're gonna be doing a week in Western Mass to where I can still go to work once the summer comes. So you and Holly will have to come kick it for a night, dude.
Fuck yeah, dude.
And yeah,
definitely.
Yeah, I think we were looking at the KOA, and I think West Hampton, I think it's in.
Dude, that's right around the corner from my daughter's high school.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
right, there you go.
I drove by it today. Oh, yeah. And actually, you know what? If you do it right, there's a farm not too far from there that does barbecue. When I talk about how I get a really good local pork, that's where I get it from. Yeah. But they do barbecue up there.
Gotcha.
And they do music and all kinds of shit. And if if you're doing it summertime, it'll be great. It'll be real great up there. Yep. It's such a beautiful area too. Yep. Yeah, you could totally zip to work with ease.
Yeah, dude, it's I'm pumped. Because number one, that cuts it'll suck that I still have to work, but it cuts down my drive time more than half. So I don't care as long as I get a few days on the weekend. I don't care. So yeah, you and Holly have to come up. We'll fucking grill, dude. Crank some beers and just have a good time.
I'm fucking into it.
So we're already booking more shit. We booked Disney, the Disney campground for July for iCast.
Oh yeah, nice.
Sorry for what? Oh yeah, dude. Luckily, I have 10 cameras around that thing, and Meg doesn't have to get out and guide me. Luckily, I can do it myself.
That's the best.
Yeah. Otherwise, that's exactly before I put the new camera system on. That's how it was. I was like, hey, just call my phone and we'll do it that way. And it's there's a delay. And she's like, well, which left? I'm like, oh my God. I was like, get me just point.
Yeah.
And,
driver side, passenger side.
Yeah. So, dude, and the dogs do so awesome, man. They are so great. We were kind of, I have 2 German Shepherds. We're kind of nervous how they're going to be at campgrounds. They are fucking stellar, dude. Seeing them. I found out Ice is an absolute water dog, dude. It to the point where I'm throwing sticks in the Sacco, dude, and she's going out for it, and she ends up coming out 100 yards down because of the
current's ripping her. I'll bet you she slept great though.
Dude, I'm like, Meg's freaking out. She's like, she's gonna drown. I was like, no, she won't. But I actually didn't know. I was maybe. I don't know. We'll see. I guess
she must have weighed 1,000,000 pounds. All that fur, soaking up all that water. Dude.
Dude.
Man.
Oh yeah, dude. Yeah. Yep. So Saturday. That's actually where we're cranking beers first. Was we found a private little area that no one else went to, and we just hung out there most of the day, dude. It was sick. Nice. The dogs were just in the water all day. It was awesome.
That's awesome.
No fish. I did try to fish a couple times. Didn't see a single fucking fish. So I hung that up. But So the rest of the week, dude, fucking just work. No fishing stuff. Fishy stuff's gonna happen this weekend. Yep. But we got rid of the Wagoneer.
What? Really?
Got rid of the Wagoneer yesterday.
What?
We now
did you trade? Are
the proud owners of a fucking Jeep Wrangler.
Oh my God. Oh my God. How many ducks do you have in there, Joe?
Oh, never, dude. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for when I have that and someone puts a duck on the door. So I'm going to make the most epic TikTok by just taking it and then just chucking it into the woods.
Yes. Oh my God.
So so we traded in so we could tow it behind the RV if we want to bring a vehicle.
Great idea.
Because we couldn't do that. The wagon. Yeah. And dude, my fucking payment's like half almost. Which is awesome. I love.
That's great.
Dude, Meg, so Meg had it today, obviously. The first I picked it up for her last night. She had it today. She's like, somebody must have like the same exact Wrangler. I'm like, what do you mean? She goes, the other Jeeps keep waving at me.
Oh my God. She doesn't know it's a cult.
Oh, no. I go, oh no, Meg, that's a fucking Jeep thing.
Dude,
She's like, well, I waved back because I feel bad.
I had to explain to my daughter, like, how insane the Jeep like community is. She's like,
it's nuts, dude.
Well, and I told her, I was like, no. Have you ever seen a Jeep with on the mirrors, they have the hand waving? And then she's like, I think so. And I was like, you know what that's there for? So you don't tire yourself out.
Waving to all the other Jeep owners.
Dude, it's ridiculous. It's so dumb. Even I was even the person like when I had my Harley, I never like did the motorcycle wave or anything.
Yeah.
And it's so she's like, oh, but dude, she's all like Meg's not a carb. Like she could give two shits about a car, but she loves it. Like, dude, we bought it basically sight unseen from the same guy I bought the Wagoneer in my truck from, a good friend of mine.
Nice.
Used to shop like a maniac at Old Glory.
Sweet.
And so I go, dude, this is the one we saw on your site. I was like, is it like, he's like, yeah, dude, that's mint. He's like, I'll give you a deal. I was like, cool, dude, do it. I'll send you the check like for the down payment. I was like, just have it ready. Let me know when it's ready. So
perfect, dude.
And he took the Wagoneer sight unseen. He's like, I know you take care of your shit, which we
kind of,
I mean, it was a mom vehicle, so I had to clean the hell. It's like nothing on. Like it's once you throw it through the car wash and vacuum it out, it's fucking
you're
in
good
mint condition.
Yeah, exactly.
But it's getting by the good fucking Cheetos and Goldfish. You know what I mean?
But those vacuums do a number on that.
Yeah. Yep. So got rid of that last night. So she's all about the Jeep. She's like, oh, I'm seeing all these accessories. I'm like, so she's all about it already. So before you know it, Meg's going to be all about the Jeep wave. I told her no ducks. I told her I will throw them in the fucking woods every time if you ever have ducks in here.
You know what we'll do? We'll line the ducks up when we get together and go shooting, and that's what we'll just fucking plink them up. Shoot the ducks.
So it's funny. So I know Wild Bill has a Jeep now. He drives a Jeep
10,000 ducks.
So and I saw this. I saw fucking. I saw a duck, I think on TikTok or something, where it's just like the head of it, like it's a duck, and then just like the head of a dick. And I was gonna get those to put on his Jeep when we're up in New York.
Hoodlum Fest.
He's gonna listen. I just wrote. He's gonna listen to that.
Yeah, that's true. He's gonna listen to this. He listens to every episode.
Yep. So, but yeah, dude. So we did that, and tomorrow, I was actually gonna go out the other night. I was like, you know what? I got home a little bit early from work.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, you know what? I'm gonna hook up and go do 2 hours. Totally forgot that my new hitch hadn't come in yet because my hitch got bent in the accident.
That's right.
So I had no hitch to hook up the boat. It came in today, thank God. But
that's good.
So tomorrow's going to be a wash, literally.
Yep.
Like it's supposed to be like 48 degrees here and rain. So Sunday, I'm gonna do a good long send on Sunday.
I'm doing Sunday as well.
And get ready. Yep. And actually got a package in the mail today, Bobby.
Oh yeah.
I just had one of the kids bring it down to me. Look what came in. This is the bigger. I forget how many millimeters. 22 millimeter anomaly from Fish or Die.
Oh, really? I didn't realize they did the second one.
Release. Yep. And we have it. AVF Tackle is going to have it before Tackle Warehouse.
Oh, no shit, dude. Yes.
Taylor did me a solid. He's like, dude, they ordered like fucking something crazy, like hundreds and hundreds of bags of them. Yeah. He's like, dude, I'm going to get your order out first. He's like, I want you to have them first. So these came in today, the 22 millimeter. These are going to go so quick, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I'm pumped about that. So comes to, and And here's the good part, Bobby. Like all these, like the Koikis and all that shit. How many you get one in a pack?
Those are
not
two.
with Fish or Die, dude. You get two.
That's
you get
awesome.
two of these.
That's great.
So I'm pumped for that. So those will be on the site probably tomorrow. Because I'll have they stink. Those will be on the site tomorrow on ABF. ABF Tackle Experts, abftackle.com. So I'll put those on there. And I got the smaller ones restocked too, because those went pretty quick. Oh, dude, all these urchin style baits, dude, sell out immediately. Like as soon as I get them. I'll do one like cheap ass Instagram ad, dude, and they're gone.
Yep. It's crazy.
Yep, man. It's crazy. But it's I'll be honest, Bobby. I was talking to Taylor today. He called me today, and I'll be honest, I thought this fad would have been done by now.
Really?
I would have had to eat crow. Yeah, it seemed like one of those things that was going to come and go to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, oh, cool. Yeah, it was popular. Like at an ICAST, like it'll come and go. But man, it's stuck around.
It's like to the point where now even the smaller bait companies, like I got a couple of them from Land of Baits. And I mean, they're insane, but like everybody's getting into this, like every single company. And there's differences here and there between them, but it's crazy.
And here's a good thing. And I'll be honest, a lot of them, they're just getting them fucking, they're getting them from China, dude. A lot of them are the same exact ones that they're getting from China and then put in different packages. Good thing about Taylor is hand pouring these things, dude. And which is absolutely bananas.
And the molds are crazy because you can only do so many of them in a pour, you know?
Yeah. Yep. He's an absolute maniac. I don't think he sleeps, but
no, definitely not.
Outside of that, dude, just fucking like I said, get out tomorrow. I'm pumped for St. Lawrence River. That's like 2 weeks away. Fucking week up there. Yeah, dude, I'm pumped. I got Wild Bills coming up for a couple days. I'm just gonna stay in the brown bus with us, and
that's awesome.
Yeah, dude, I'm just pumped. I'm pumped.
There is, I did register for the, for the June Buds tournament already.
Oh yes, I gotta get in on that,
and I gotta send you an invite for it. But yeah, I mean we're registered already. It's dude, June is gonna be nuts with you going up to St. Lawrence. It's gonna be sick. It's gonna be sick. It's just insane.
Oh yeah, dude, it's gonna be insane. Nick, come over to the St. Lawrence River. When we're up there, dude, come on up and you can meet him. We'll have a blast, dude. Just come stay in the brown bus. I could fit like 10 people in there. We'll put the kids in a tent outside. Fuck those kids.
Perfect. Oh man, that's freaking badass, dude. It's gonna be. You're gonna have an absolute blast up there. What days are you going up?
Oh shit! I think it's like the 15th to the 15th to the 20th. I think
15th to the 20th.
Yeah.
15th to the 20th. That's Monday to Saturday.
I think it's like Monday to Saturday. Yeah, that sounds
Monday
about right.
to Saturday. I might take a ride up on. I might take fucking Thursday night off. I have a wedding. I have a wedding on the 20th, a big wedding, but this couple's amazing and they're on top of all their stuff. So I might be able to come and take Thursday night off that week and go up. And then,
that would be sick, dude.
Yeah, it would be.
God, you got some place to stay? Fucking, it'd be sick, dude.
It's not the worst
commute. Out there and rip them up.
Hell yeah, it's not the worst commute at all. So I don't know. It might be something I could do. Although, you know what?
Yeah, for you, dude, it's probably under 4 hours for you.
It is. It's about 4.5 hours.
It just barely. Okay, yeah, because I was gonna say it's a little over 4 for us.
Yeah, it's not that bad of a ride whatsoever. So I don't know. It might be something that I might look into. I might. Who knows? Who the frick knows? Or should I just say fuck it and do it on Monday? I'll think about it. I'll see what I can do. I'll see what I can do. I'd love to make it work on Friday. If that wedding, the next week I have a wedding on Sunday, so that would be ideal. That would be perfect. But I'd love to get out and send it, but we'll have to figure it all out. We got some Hoodlum Fest stuff that we got to discuss. You think? Do you have a headline this week, or should we make that the headline?
I do have a headline.
You do? All right. Well, why don't we do that? Why don't we jump into the headline, and then we'll go into that. Then we'll talk about what's going on Hoodlum Fest, because I think there's shit that you're not even necessarily privy to.
Okay. All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages. Let's talk about a story that should get everybody's attention, because a major lawsuit has just been filed in New York following one of the worst fish kills anyone's seen in recent years. The story centers around Ishtua Creek, a well-known trout stream in western New York that's loved by both local anglers and visiting fishermen. Back in August of 2025, something went terribly wrong. Reports started coming in of dead fish, foul odors, and water quality issues. When state investigators arrived, they found tens of thousands of dead fish, along with amphibians and other aquatic life throughout the creek. The New York Department of Environmental Conservation eventually traced the disaster back to wastewater discharges from a Great Lakes cheese processing facility in Franklinville. According to investigators, failures within the plant's wastewater treatment system led to low oxygen levels, elevated nutrients, and a warmer water temperature that essentially suffocated the stream's ecosystem. Now, here's where the story gets even more interesting. A local environmental advocacy group called Ishua Valley Water Keepers has filed a lawsuit against the New York DEC, not against the cheese company, but against the state agency itself. The group claims the DEC has failed to release public records related to the incident despite multiple Freedom of Information requests. They're seeking records on the plant's compliance history, prior violations, monitoring data, and communications between regulators and the company. The lawsuit also alleges that regulators may have been aware of wastewater treatment violations before the massive fish kill occurred. The group argues that without transparency, the public can't determine whether enough has been done to prevent enough was done to prevent the disaster before it happened. Following the investigation, Great Lakes Cheese was hit with a $475,000 penalty ordered to make major upgrades to its wastewater treatment and monitoring systems. The company must now implement enhanced monitoring, facility improvements, and third-party oversight before normal operations can fully resume.
Oh.
For anglers, this story hits home because Ishua Creek isn't just another stream. It's considered one of Western New York's premier trout fisheries, supporting both stocked and naturally reproducing trout populations and offering miles of public fishing access. So this is like essentially their Swift River.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Some stretches have historically held hundreds of adult trout per mile. That's insane. The big takeaway here is that while the fines have already been handed out, many anglers and conservation groups still want answers. They want to know what warning signs existed, who knew about them, and whether this environmental disaster could have been prevented. We'll definitely be keeping an eye on this one because I'm actually curious to know, because I believe, Bobby, that this is the river that my sister got married on.
Oh, really?
New York.
Oh, no shit.
Yeah, so it was like a camping area with cottages and stuff that she got married on, and it was for the trout, for like trout fishermen.
No kidding.
So I got to do a little personal research on that because I'm curious. But yeah, let us know your thoughts, what you think about that, because we got the Potomac that just happened and a lot of other smaller instances. So
that's wild,
it's an unfortunate thing that we continue to deal with. And you're right, Robbie Kennedy is gonna be pissed.
It makes you wonder,
What the fuck are they putting in the cheese?
You know what I mean?
Dude, funny story, Bobby. And I'm not going to get into this too much. I haven't even told you personally. I'm gonna get real personal with Jigs and Bigs and Bobby Roast Beef. Uh-oh. So I think we've talked about how I've had like wicked stomach issues for like 12 to 15 years.
Oh yeah. Yep.
I finally got a test done.
Oh no.
And it turns out that I have an allergy and intolerance to so many fucking foods.
Really?
And I've been on this and I've been avoiding them for like 2 weeks now. And I have never felt better with my gut health since then. And a lot of it's like preservatives.
Yep.
Dude, one of them's like white meat chicken because of some enzyme that's in it that I have an intolerance to. So I've been pretty fucking miserable. Dude. I'm not going to lie, because a lot of it is like dairy and shit. And I love ice cream.
Oh, for sure. Oh.
But I have felt, and I've lost like 10 pounds. Dude.
I bet.
I have felt the best with my gut health that I felt in like 15 years. So where I was getting with that, like, yeah, I haven't been eating anything with any type of preservatives in it, dude. So it's like, I mean, we could go on a rant how like the shit that they put in our food, dude. It's absolutely insane. I go over to like when I've been overseas in like Asia, like the Asian countries, dude, there's none of that shit in there, dude. And it just tastes so fresh and so good. And there's no obesity over there. Everyone's living to like fucking 200 years old, dude. It's awesome.
It is kind of fucking crazy, man. Like today I just saw something about like commercially raised pork and like the diet with all these the fat is like the killer. And like, it's fucking nuts. But like Nick says, he goes, I've heard of dumped milk killing a river before. I've never heard that before. And I would think that milk, like at least like something organic like that, and it being a river, would flush through, and it wouldn't necessarily do that. But who knows?
What is it? Pasteurized milk?
That's what I'm wondering. Like maybe it's got to do in the process.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It could.
Fucking Louis Pasteur.
We don't talk about politics. We don't talk about politics on this show, and we never will. But the one thing, like Nick brought up, like, oh, Robbie Kennedy would be pissed. Like, I hate politics. I hate politics, like especially now these days.
Yep.
But like that dude actually was like he did a really good. The one thing about him is he did a fucking phenomenal job, dude, leading the cleanup of the Hudson River before he was in the politics.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Like he's a huge conservationist, and like him getting rid of the red dyes and shit like that. That is the best thing for like the upcoming generation, like my kids and stuff like that. Not being able to like fucking. It, like, dude, you wonder why the cancer rate is so fucking high. Like our generation, but like I'm pretty much in the same generation as you. You're only you're like what 8 years older than me.
Yep.
Dude, we have put, if you like doing 10 minutes of research, we have put so much shit in our bodies, dude, that you're like, yeah, that probably shouldn't be in there.
I'm sitting under so much asbestos right now. Like it's even worse with like the older generations, like because nobody was thinking. Look at the way people smoke. You know what I mean? Like, dude, think about that. In the 70s and the 80s, you used to smoke on planes. Like, isn't that fucking crazy? Yes. I could never think of that now. You know what I mean?
Not too long ago, I've been on planes that are like that still had the fucking ashtray and the fucking, I mean, not too long ago. We're talking 30 years ago, but sure. That still had the ashtrays in the armrest, dude. But like, like I actually looked it's funny. I actually read an article, or like it was a very short article today about sunscreen, right? Like skin cancer wasn't a big thing until I think it was around the 70s where the fucking chemical sunscreens came out. Mm-hmm. So it's like, so immediately, and like Meg and I go down and I've actually had conversations with Nick about this. It's like, fuck, dude. Like now, because dude, I'm 40. I'm 41 years old. I want to live as long as I already have so much bullshit in my body from the military, dude.
Yep.
I've already been exposed to so much fucking shit that I want to be able to prolong my life as much as possible.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
And we've lived in this fucking society like where it's like they tell you this stuff's good for you, but if you actually do a little bit of research on your own, you're like, oh my god, dude, like maybe that's actually not so good for me. So it's like,
look at the whole,
me
like,
as a fucking Irish guy, it's like, should I not be wearing sunscreen?
Look at the whole like low fat movement in the 80s and early 90s. You know what I mean? Everybody was like, all of that shit. It's wild. That's a whole fucking rabbit hole that you could totally get into. But
so, dude, we could have a full fucking episode. We'll never do it because we don't talk about that on Jigs and Bigs.
But I'm saying, I'm trying to wrap it up.
Yeah. Sorry. I almost went on a tangent. I almost went on a tangent. I'm glad I didn't.
Let's dive in, and we're going to check in with Binya right now to get the up-to-the-minute standings of what's going on with the Jigs and Bigs tournament series.
Hey everyone, Binya here with a tournament standings update. Closing in on the end of the May Bud series, we have some anglers that have been holding tough and holding their spot throughout the whole week, moving up just little by little, doing those little culls, doing what they need to stay in the money. We've got Team Duplicate Fish with 97.5 inches, holding down 5th place. Team Sticky Rice with that 98-inch bag, holding down 4th. Team Hula Poppers recently entered a new fish, moving up just a little bit, putting them in 3rd place with 98.5 inches. Team Geronimo hitting their century mark with 100.5 inches, and Team Scope and Hope with a huge dump of fish all at the same time, getting themselves up to 101 inches. The next time you guys hear from me, we'll have the final result for May.
Alrighty. Thanks, Mike. That is awesome. You guys, June is coming up, and there is all kinds of good stuff. Jigsandbigs.com is the website. From there, you can access all of our online tournaments. Just click that tab. It'll bring you right to Fishing Chaos. Click tournaments. You'll see everything that's available. Reminder that we have one slot limit series. It happens on the 20th, actually, of June, and it is a Father's Day team tournament. You can jump in and be part of this either as a team or solo. Mike and I talked about it. It was absolutely unbelievable. But speaking of a conversation I had with Mike, we were discussing the upcoming details that had dropped about Hoodlum Fest. Now, the last Hoodlum Fest was what, 2023, was it? Or was it 2022? I forget. It was, I think it was 2023.
The last one I went to was the one in Connecticut.
Camp Hoodset.
That we all did. And
maybe.
Yes. Yep.
So the last Hoodlum Fest proper was, I think, the year before. So I think 2023 was that year. And I mean, this is going to be absolutely awesome. So the dates are August the 7th and August the 8th. Now, August for Jigs and Bigs is shaping up amazing because on August the 1st, we are going to be over at Tackle Box Brewing. Tackle Box Brewing is pretty badass. They are in Marlborough, Mass. And this is August the 1st, 12 to whenever it ends. They're calling this the Swim Bait Farmers Market. It's a handmade swim bait and custom bait making event. It's just a big social event. There's going to be vendors there. Elude is going to be there. Bad News Bass is going to be there. Boston Anglers is going to be there. I believe Piz is going to be there as well. And I'm not sure what role Jigs and Bigs is going to play over at that event, but I'm going to be popping in for sure. And then the following weekend, the 7th and 8th, is Hoodlum Fest. So Hoodlum Fest is two gatherings, like a lot of the OG members from the Hookset Hoodlums getting together. We're going to fish. There's going to be a little bit of a lunker, like biggest fish kind of competition, friendly shit on Friday. And then on Saturday, there's going to be like a numbers sort of ordeal. So mixing it up. But what Mike and I were discussing was, I know that the buzz of Hoodlum Fest is huge and people want to be part of it. I had a conversation today actually with Rodney, R&R Outdoors. And unfortunately, he's not going to be able to make it, which sucks. I was really looking forward to see him. But he goes, there are some folks that just they're not going to be able to make it. Either airfare is crazy or schedule-wise it just doesn't line up. So what Mike and I were talking about was the idea of organizing an online charity tournament, a slot series. In fact, making it a team slot. So it'll be a slot series that everybody across the country will be able to get into, but it'll be a team event so you can pair up and fish, wherever. This will be a fundraising event. It'll be, we'll determine what the charity is. And at first when I ran this by Bill, I said, yeah, look, I'd love to do this just so that people who they can't make it, they want to be involved with it and kind of have like something to look forward to that weekend. Like, let's do that. And he's like, the more he thought about it, he's like, I kind of love it. Let's do it. So I think the goal is, and this is sort of like I'm spitballing here, but we're going to be reaching out to a lot of the friends that we've made in the Jigs and Bigs-averse, and Hookset Hoodlums has reached out and made connections with as well. We're going to do prize packs is the idea for the winners of the tournament. So those is the more people that we have register, 100% of the money that comes in is going to go to a charity that we selected. We'll announce what that is beforehand. And that's kind of the plan. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. And what's cool about doing it that way is that no matter where you are, you can be part of the Hoodlum Fest activities in that sense. Plus, there's going to be a bunch of content coming out from that. I'm not 100% sure if we're going to be able to live stream it the way we did the 300th episode, but the possibility is certainly there. Like it's in the realm of possibility. So you're going to want to stay tuned to more information regarding that coming up very, very soon. Hoodlum Fest 2026. I actually got to look at the new shirt too, Joe. I don't know if you've seen this. You must have seen this. Have
I seen the shirt? Yes, I've seen the shirt. I've seen the shirt.
It's sick. It's a pocket tee, and at first I didn't know how I felt about that. I kind of love it, honestly. And the lazy ass part of me, why I think I love it? Is when I'm on the boat and I'm wearing that shirt, I can take my remote from my trolling motor and put it right here when I measure a fish. And then it's not going to be dangling where the fish can smack it all over the place and get slime all over it. You know what I mean? It's nice when I have a regular hoodie.
That's a great idea. You know what I'm going to use it for?
Weed.
A pen, and a pair of cheaters.
Oh, dude. That's a great idea.
And a pack of smokes.
Pack of smoke. That's awesome. Smoke them on a plane. Smoke them on a plane. Drinking red 40 or whatever. Killed by the cheese, Mark says. Fucking A, the cheese is gonna get you. Let's take a short break, guys. We got Just the Tip coming up right after this break. You don't want to miss it. We're talking about post spawners. Like, I'm experiencing it now. We're going to talk about it just to put something down so that you guys can go back to maybe in a year from now, or maybe you're in our situation right now and you can relate to it right away. Post spawn bass, that's coming up, and not one but two FTGs for you. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far.
LinkedIn is pretty amazing at helping you grow your small business. We cannot make your email response time faster. We can help you sell, market, and hire in one place. We cannot help you find space for your 3 desk drinks. Why do you have 3? And while we can't help you find the perfect volume for your presentation video, LinkedIn can help you find the perfect audience for your business. Grow your small business on LinkedIn. Learn more at linkedin.com/smallbusiness.
If we knew more about our sleep, what would we do differently? Would we go to bed at a consistent time or take steps to reduce interruptions to our sleep? With Sleep Score, Apple Watch measures your bedtime consistency, interruptions, and sleep duration. Then, every morning it combines these factors into an easy-to-understand score from 1 to 100. So you'll know how to take the quality of your sleep from okay to very high. Know your sleep score with Apple Watch. iPhone 11 or later required.
This spring, Uber Eats has you covered. Whether you're celebrating mom, dad, or your favorite grad, not all of us are great planners, and with the Uber Eats gift hub, you don't have to be. Send flowers, perfume, champagne, or just their favorite meal straight to their door. Gifts arrive in as little as 25 minutes, and you can add a personalized video message for that additional so-not-last-minute touch. So this spring, get a leg up on gift giving with Uber Eats. Last-minute gifts that land every time. Must be 21 or older to purchase alcohol. Product availability varies per region. See app for details.
This episode is brought to you by Perfect Bistro Cat Food. Hey guys, today I'm interviewing my cat about his perfect bistro food. Percy, you seem to be a big Perfect Bistro fan. Care to comment? Totally. What do you like about it? You love the high-quality ingredients? And the delicious flavors, of course. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Listen to Percy, guys. Visit perfectbistro.com to try it for your cat.
And perhaps play a little game called Just the Tip. Just for a second, just to see how it feels. Or ouch, ouch, you're on my hair.
Okay.
Alrighty, folks. Let's talk here. It's time for another edition of Just the Tip. This is the segment where we try to make you a better angler without having to spend $6,000 on forward-facing sonar and a second mortgage on tackle. That's what we try to do. This week, we're talking about one of what can be the most frustrating times of year for a bass angler, and that's the post-spawn. Because every year, without fail, somebody's going to say the fish just kind of disappeared. No, they didn't. And you know that they didn't. They didn't get abducted by aliens. They didn't all swim to Canada.
Nick.
And they definitely didn't stop eating. What's happened is that they've moved, and most anglers are still fishing where the bass were instead of where the bass are going. So let's talk about how to recognize when the majority of the spawn is over, where bass tend to go next, and some of the best ways that you can catch them. So keep in mind, the spawn isn't a light switch. One thing that we need to establish absolutely right away is that the spawn doesn't happen in a single weekend. It's not like every single bass in the lake gets a group text and says, all right, boys, Tuesday at 2 p.m., meet in the shallows. Different fish spawn at different times. Different areas of the lake are going to warm differently. Some fish spawn earlier, some fish spawn a little bit later. But eventually, you start seeing some clues that tell you that the majority of the population has moved through that process. Clue number 1, empty beds. One of the most obvious signs is simply seeing empty beds. Maybe a few weeks ago, every single pocket you licked had fish locked on beds, and now the beds are still there, and they might even be in good shape, but the fish are not on them. You're seeing those light-colored circles at the bottom, and nobody's home. There's a pretty strong sign that the spawning activity has either winded down or has begun to wind down. Your second clue, fry balls everywhere. And this is probably like a favorite. You'll start seeing these little black clouds along the shoreline, tiny baby bass. Sometimes they're just like the size of eyelashes, tiny, tiny. Sometimes they're a little bit bigger. And if you look carefully, you'll often see a male bass hanging around nearby, kind of guarding them, keeping an eye. He's like a lifeguard, you know? That's a dead giveaway that spawning activity has already happened. Yeah, you think when you see the babies? Those fish are nearing the end of their parental responsibilities. It's kind of like when your kid finally graduates college and you just stop paying for everything. Oh, God, I can't wait. The next clue is another favorite of mine personally. It's when bluegill beds start to show up. And this one often gets overlooked by a lot of anglers. The bass spawn starts to slow down, and then the bluegills start moving up. Suddenly, you're going to see dozens, actually sometimes even like hundreds, depending on the area, of circular beds clustered together. Kind of looks like a honeycomb pattern. If you don't know what they look like, imagine somebody walked into the shallows with like a stack of dinner plates and pressed them all into the bottom. Now, here's the important part. Bass know those bluegill are there, and bass absolutely love to eat bluegill. Bluegill spawn can be one of the best feeding opportunities of the year, and it happens a lot. Next clue, skinny fish. And this is one that I saw right in front of me on Monday. You'll start catching bass that look like they just got done running a marathon. Sunken bellies, beat up tails, worn fins, especially the larger females. Spawning takes a tremendous amount of energy. Those fish are now trying to recover and put weight back on. And that means, yes, they're feeding. Now, there are we'll call them three different types of post-spawn bass. At this point, bass generally are going to split into a handful of groups. There's the babysitters. Those are the males generally. They're still up shallow. They're hanging tight to fry, nearby, kind of like we said, like lifeguards. And you can catch these fish around shoreline cover, docks, shallow grass. Weightless plastics are often like the deadliest move. Then you got the hungry ones. These are the ones that everybody wants to find. They've finished spawning, they're tired, they're skinny, and they're absolutely ready to eat. These are the fish that are going to be actively hunting bait fish. Bluegill, perch, shad, anything that they can catch, they're going to gorge on it. Then you've got the escape artists, and these are typically the bigger females. And this is where anglers can often get confused because one day they were totally visible, and then the next day it seemed like they vanished. Except they're not gone. They've just simply started moving toward deeper water and more summer habitat. So where are you supposed to look? Well, this is where the biggest mindset shift occurs. Stop thinking about where bass had spawned and start thinking about where it is that they're headed. So a great place to start is the first drop. Find a spawning flat where you can establish. Maybe you're looking at old beds. And now find on your map the first significant drop nearby. Maybe that spawning area was just 2 feet deep. Where's that first 6-foot break? I'm using that as an example. The first 8-foot break or 10-foot break or whatever it is. When you see a significant depth change, a lot of those recovering females are going to retreat back there before they start making longer moves. The next spot is secondary points. Think of these they're like a Buc-ee's. They're like a highway rest stop, Bass use them as a staging area while moving out of spawning pockets. And if you've got a point between the back of a cove and the main lake, fish that. And then fish it again. And then when you're done, fish it a third time because bass love to stop on those transitions. Next one is, I think this goes without saying, is docks because shade becomes increasingly important. Especially on those sunny days where you've just got, bluebird skies. Deep docks especially. Floating docks, marinas, they all become prime real estate. A dock can be the bass equivalent of air conditioning after a long day of mowing the lawn. Now, here's one that I think a lot of people almost intentionally avoid is offshore grass. If you're fishing a lake that has some offshore grass, this can be absolutely ridiculous for finding bass. Those outside weed edges are pay dirt, points that are in the grass. So if you're looking at a bed of weeds, the points that get created there can be money. The holes that are in the vegetation, if you find an area where it's thicker on either end and there's a little bit of sparse vegetation in there, that can be money as well. Those become the feeding stations where bass are going to settle in for their summer routines. Now let's talk about some good post-spawn bait techniques. Usually that's going to depend on, it's going to be based on covering water and finding active fish that are active after the spawn. And usually the first things that I will look for are a walking topwater. Post-spawn topwater bite can be absolutely incredible. Around bluegill beds, shallow bait activity, there's just something that really kind of blows up or is magical about fishing a topwater bait this time of year. And a walking bait, like a Czar spook or a puppy can be money. Absolutely. Or a popper even. Bladed jigs, it can imitate bluegill. It can imitate shad. It covers water. It's obnoxiously, it vibrates obnoxiously and is loud. And it does catch fish. And it's basically really the Swiss Army knife of bass fishing. These days, there's bladed jigs to fit nearly all situations. If you need something that gets noticed, this is going to do it. Swim jig. Don't sleep on that secondary action of the skirt. That I will forever say that from the mountaintop. It's also amazing around cover, particularly around bluegill activity. When bass start keying in on bluegill, a swim jig can absolutely shine. Also, when something with a lot of vibration isn't getting them, this may be the slightly more subtle step you should consider. I'm going to say it. It's my favorite go-to confidence bait, the paddle tail swim bait. Natural profile. Wonderful. Super simple presentation. Works shallow, works deep, a lot of versatility, works around a lot of different types of cover, maybe not super heavy cover, but it's really kind of hard to go wrong. Anyway, the biggest mistake that anglers make after the spawn is staying committed to a pattern that's already ending. They keep beating the bank. They keep staring at these empty beds. They keep fishing yesterday's fish or yesterday's trend. The anglers who consistently catch post-spawn bass understand something important. Bass are in transition. They're moving from spawning areas to feeding areas. They're moving from shallow water to summer structure. And if you can identify the route that they're using, you can intercept some of the best fish catching opportunities of the entire season. So the next time you're on the water, don't ask yourself, where did they spawn? Ask yourself, where are they going next? Because if you can answer that question, you're already ahead of a good chunk of the field. So, Joe, when you hit that late spring period and you know that the spawn is starting to wrap up like we are right now, what is your number one indicator?
The empty beds, seeing the bluegills hanging around the bass beds. It's the bass beds tend to be a little bit more what's that word I'm looking for? Individualized, like, when you have those bluegill beds that like make that like honeycomb pattern, like just a ton of them, and when you see those bluegill on what is bass beds, the beds that are more secluded from other ones, that's a big indicator for me. Even I'll be honest, Bobby, I'm surprised like when you went there wasn't even males sitting on them anymore. That tells me that the fry has moved right up. So yeah, and the other big thing that I'm glad you touched on is what people don't realize right after spawn, those, like you said, the females essentially go to recover. So it's almost like go if you want to get your hands on a bigger female, it's almost like fishing pre-spawn all over again.
Yeah, it really is.
Yep, because they head off to those, like you said, those deeper secondary points and that deeper structure, that cooler water, just to kind of recover. And then after that, some of them will move shallow, and some of them will stay put for essentially the season. But yeah, you pretty much nailed it, Bobby.
Yeah, it's just one of those things. I can remember, like, there was a few years ago where I was taking my kayak out and I was fishing one local body of water as intently as I could, specifically just to like immerse myself in the life cycle of what was going on. And for me, a big one was like the bluegill beds. Like that was a huge sign. You roll up into a spot and you're like, oh, okay, this is good. But like the buffet is there. Like that, when I see that, I get very, very excited. So I oftentimes will like try to trace around the outline as much as I can, get off of it, and then fish around it. And like, It can be a challenge because, like, when you have a bunch of bluegill up there, especially if they're sizable ones, they'll try to eat anything. You know what I mean? And you're like, you might be thinking like, oh, I'm missing all these bites. I can't believe it. But it's just about crossing paths with a hungry bass. There's a couple of baits, bluegill like style swim baits. Like I have this one. I think I actually bought it from OGO, like back in the day. And it's like a bluegill, like a boot tail style. And it's got a real like, it's got a belly weight. So it works real. I should have freaking thought to throw that today. That would have been something I should have thrown around. But like when you see that, like a lot of those fish that are post spawn, they're going to take full advantage of that food source being there. And if I'm not mistaken, and we can look into bluegill as a forage, and maybe we'll do this as a Just the Tip some other time where we look at just different forages and like how they spawn. But if I'm not mistaken, bluegill spawn in a matter of weeks, like over and over and over again. And I've heard, I want to say it was Shan Gorman. He's a fisheries biologist. I want to say it was Shan Gorman that said, like, that's part of the reason why they're such a good forage is that they just reproduce, and those fry just get smashed by bass. You know, like they get to a certain size and then it's like challenging for a bass to eat, you know, just because of the shape of their body. But like when they're small, when you see those tiny bluegills floating around, dude, that's just a snack. You know, it's perfect. So I don't know, man. It was. I think that this is just something that if any of you guys can use, and tell us in the hotline, like for the live well next week, what are some of the things that you look for specifically that you're like, yes, these are post spawn. I mean, I think another one that it's like just to give it are those skinny fish. Do you get up to where you're like, this water is like in the mid 60s, like low 70s, and you've got these skinny fish? You're like, yeah, you just spawned. That's like dead giveaway because you've got the proof right in your hands. That's what did it Monday. I was like, oh yeah, here we go, baby. But let's dive in right here. We have a couple real interesting FTG calls this week. All right, this week we have not one, but we got two different calls. One of them is, this is not fishy material whatsoever, but we normally hear from this guy in another segment of the show.
Hey, boys. Got an FTG this week. Has nothing to do with fishing, so I hope this is allowed. But we're currently demoing part of our house, our bathroom, because there's a window in our shower that's like super moldy, super gross, super moldy. And they were going to redo our siding today, but they did not tell us that they weren't coming out. They just told us about 8 a.m. when we started already demoing some of the shower. So yeah, I'm a little pissed off. So fuck that guy, to the siding company, because now we have a half-started project and no bathroom because we have one bathroom. So yeah, this sucks. So we are trying to figure out what to do right now. So I'm in the middle of that. Hope everybody's fishing's going well, because I'm currently doing my bathroom and would much rather be fishing. Okay. Hey, boys.
Dude, that sucked. I don't mean to laugh, Eli, but dude, that is shitty. No pun intended. Joe, what do you think we zip the brown bus out there to at least give the Self family, you know, some plumbing for the meantime?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
Oh my God. I don't even want to say it. I'm going to fucking say it.
Do it. Let's do it.
Joe goes to clean out the Blackwater tank, and he's like,
where the fuck did all this Skyline chili come from?
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I am the worst person ever, dude. Eli, I love you, homie. I hope he left this earlier in the week, too. Like, I think it was like Tuesday. So I hope they got it like all straightened out, dude. That fucking sucks, man. Yeah, and that's the thing. If somebody does you wrong, FTG, call them out. You know what I mean? Because in a way, it is fishing related, because he said it right there. He'd rather be out fishing instead of having a half demoed, you know, project on his hands. I totally get that. Totally get that. Now we have another one. This is from a past guest that we had on the show, Joe Ravenna.
Bobby, Joe. It's Joe from the Gentleman's Club Jig. I don't know where you want to put it. If it's, I don't quite think it's an FTG, but Big Jig Energy should be throwing some jigs. I'm listening to all these results, and you're not throwing jigs. I don't understand. Throw that peanut butter and jelly, Bobby. Y'all have a good one.
You know what's funny? That jig he's talking about is tied on my jig rod right now. I have a jig tied on at least one combo. And I say that like I include a swim jig in that category as well. But like realistically, I've taken an Arky jig and swam it. I have thrown a jig. I don't know what it is about this year though. Like it has been primarily moving baits or like tiny baits. You know what I mean? Like it's just every fish that I've caught this year, and it's been a lot of bycatch too. But yeah, I got to, and I did. I've thrown a lot of PB&J. That's a big confidence color with me. Really is. PB&J and green pumpkin jig, you cannot go wrong. And black and blue. Like that's my holy trinity of jig colors right there. Generally,
it's jig time. It's jig time.
It's always jig time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it is. Yeah.
But yeah, I haven't had a fish. I take that back. I had one, the very first fish in April I caught on a jig, on a tiny finesse jig. But that was in like something like 48-degree water. Like it was ridiculous. So it was like, yeah, we were downsized pretty significant. That was a pretty significant jig though. But yeah, Joe, I am throwing those gentlemen's jigs. I have to get you that 3/8 ounce jig, Joe. I got to get that to you soon. We should plan a rendezvous, and I'll drop off. I have so many baits that I got to drop off to you. I've got a fucking rat for you that I've been holding on to forever.
You can drop it off to me any day at work, Bobby.
I know. That's what I need to do. It's got to happen. But yeah, if you guys have something that happened on the water or something that prevented you from fishing or something, whatever, you want to call somebody out, call the hotline or text the hotline at 413-324-8519. Leave your message, and we are glad to play that and help you at least get a little bit of satisfaction knowing that you called them out on the internet to a bunch of people who are also jabronis just like all of us. Good stuff. Good stuff. We are going to take a quick break and come back around for the live well. This week's live well, we have a whole bunch. We got text to go through, stuff about last week's Just the Tip. We've got 2 different calls that came in, like all kinds of good stuff. You don't want to miss it. I don't want you to miss it. We'll see you guys in a bit. Don't go too far.
This is what everyone's talking about.
Everything's on the table.
This is what champions come to take. This is what everyone came to see.
And the slam!
No do-overs. No second chances. No more Mr. Nice Guy. This is winner take all. And it's all happening now on the home of the NBA Finals. Don't miss it. June 3rd on ABC and the ESPN app.
Hi there. Welcome to the Live Well, where we crack open a ramp beer and attempt to answer all of your burning questions.
Yep. Live Well is probably one of my favorite segments. Live Well and Just the Tip, I feel like if I got favorites, those are my favorites. I just love them. But we have a lot of correspondence that came in from you guys. And the first couple of text messages here have to do with the Just the Tip segment we had in last week's episode. We were talking about confidence bait addiction and how, you know, we sort of determined or defined what a confidence bait actually is and why it works so well. And Joe made a really good point. Sometimes you can actually like beat the shit out of those confidence baits into the ground where you actually lose confidence because you hype them up almost over. You gas them up too much. But we got a couple of calls from some folks. We got a couple of text messages actually. This one is from Brian. We'll hear from Brian later. He also called in with a voicemail. He says, "Great show this week." He goes, "I'm with Joe. My confidence bait is a Rapala X-Wrap jerkbait." Dude, that's a great classic jerkbait right there. He says, which is currently hooked into a piece of wood somewhere underwater. Anyways, managed to grab a pickerel with my rooster tail spinnerbaits, so I guess it all depends on what it is that I want to catch. And that's the thing. Like it's sometimes that's what it is. What are you targeting, and what is the situation? But yeah, that The Rapala X-Wrap is one hell of a jerkbait. Now, this one, Joe, I'm really glad you're actually on here because I could only, I think, do so much justice with this next one. Do you remember Tony Pellegrini?
Yeah.
Okay, so Tony dropped me a message on, what was it? It was on Facebook Messenger. And he goes, You guys, there's a typo here, or this might sound a little bit odd, but he goes, you guys trying too hard the frog's juice or what? I think it's you guys trying to hate the frog's juice or what? You guys can't seriously hate the frog that much. It's my confidence bait. In Maine, we smash on them. And I responded, and I copied and pasted this because I wanted you to see the back and forth. I responded by going, dude, that's awesome, man. I said, I got to tell you, I do not hate frogs. I have little confidence in them. I said, I only throw them when the characteristics of them is a benefit versus a liability. So I'm not going to throw a frog where I could throw a spook, buzzbait, or a floating jerkbait, or a popper. I said, honestly, the vast majority of the places that I fish don't really require a frog for much. Some places do, so I definitely have them. I just know that the hookup ratio suffers with them. And he says, are you giving them enough time to turn before you set the hook? He says, that's my biggest learning curve is you got to wait longer than you think and your hookup ratio will triple. And he's not wrong. I was constantly missing it all the time. I have actually gotten very comfortable with waiting until I feel, I don't even count. Like it's not an amount of time. I wait until I feel on the braid, the weight of that fish. When I hook up, when I get a good bite, I'm able to hook them. That's okay. But again, this is like I said, after he says, oh, I throw a popping frog in open water over most things once post-spawn hits. He says, it's funny that you say buzzbaits because I have zero confidence in those. And I said, I definitely am allowing enough time. I can catch them, but I choose to throw a frog when the situation actually calls for it. I would never throw a frog in open water when I can use something that's got trebles. And I said, actually, the buzzbait comparison is exactly the point of the whole segment. It's that some anglers, they gravitate to a single presentation and others might gravitate to something totally else. And it's the confidence that we build up over time. And that's what makes those baits more effective to a point, of course. And then he comments and he said, I knew this next round was coming. He goes, I always get nervous with trebles casting close to banks and skipping them under things. Good luck in June, my brother. He says, good luck in June. My brother and I will be registering next week. Team Bass Turds. Bass Turds. I'm here for it. Let's bring it. So I think in terms of confidence baits, I know folks that are just like, they will fish a frog in open water.
Paul, I'm talking to you right now.
And there are people who are just like, oh yeah, they'll eat a frog in open water. No shit, they'll eat a frog in open water. But again, not even counting the body of the frog and waiting to get that bite. 2 hook points, 6 to 9 hook points. That's, to me, right. that gives me a lot of confidence right there. You know what I mean? And I get it. Dude, when it's like the weeds that I had today, there was a bunch of weeds, lily pads, pads all over, but nothing like so heavy where it was like frog. I ran a swim jig through those bitches. Right. You know what I mean? Just because that's my confidence and I'm like, all right, I feel more confident with that. I'm going to hook up. I'm going to get that bait back. That's ultimately the goal. When I'm fishing that kind of heavy cover, I'll throw a frog where I have to. But if I don't have to, I necessarily won't. I also, I'm not big on the whole bait finesse frog thing. I know some folks, Paul and Jeff from Aggressively Average Anglers, they love the bait finesse frogs. There's a couple of other folks.
I didn't even know that was a thing.
Yeah, dude, it's a thing. They're tiny. And I think instead of having legs, they usually have a blade. I've seen some that are like that. So, but they're super tiny and they'll get munched. Absolutely. But at the same time, trust me, when I go, I don't know how Millwood's going to fish, but especially in fucking February, I don't think I'm going to be throwing a frog down there, but who knows? Depending on the year, it could be, who knows? So I've always got at least 5 or 6 different frogs with me. Usually a couple black ones in different varieties, a couple of white ones in different varieties, and then some kind of natural whatever. And some that have there's a Booyah makes one. I think it's called the Toad Thumper or something like that. It's kind of like the Teckle Sprinker frog. It's got a paddle on the back and you can kind of buzz it. Which is kind of sweet. I'll be honest with you.
I don't even think Booyah makes those anymore.
Oh, they don't?
I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I don't think they do. I don't think they do.
I can't see them. I can't see them not making those. I think that would be crazy, but stranger things have happened, you know? Stranger things have happened. We also just got a text from Ian. And actually, Joe, this is really good that you're in here for this too, because he had texted the hotline. And I asked him about this. He was like, oh, I got a call for the hotline, or for the live well, rather. And I said, perfect, man. Let's see what you got. And I told him, I was like, you know what? Just text that. This way, for sure, we'll get it in here. So Ian says, he goes, what is our preference on for like batteries for like the amps for a 12-foot aluminum John boat?
Okay. So, I guess my question would be, is it like, I guess it would depend on, what he's powering. Is it just like the straight up motor, like a trolling motor?
I think it is
like a screen.
No, I think it is just the trolling motor. Well, he said that this one lake specifically is electric only. So he's like, yeah, so he has to have that. So I think in terms of like the trolling motor, like what I would say realistically, yeah, he says just the motor.
Okay, just the motor.
Just the motor. I mean,
well, there's a couple. I'm guessing my assumption would be that it's just a 12-volt motor versus like a 24 36.
Like with a tiller or something, I would assume.
Yeah, I mean, Ian, I'm a big proponent of lithium batteries because they just last so much longer, and the warranty on them is stupid. It's 11 years.
That's true.
If you're just running a trolling motor, I think you legit could probably get it done with a 50 amp hour 12 volt.
Yeah,
but would be comfortable in like never having to charge that fucking thing if you got 100.
I was going to suggest 100. I was going to suggest 100 for sure. Just because then he's got it. He says, I've got a 110 from Bass Pro, 55-pound trolling motor Minn Kota. Is it a power drive? Ian, I'm curious. I've got a 55 that's a power drive. I'm just curious. Like 100 will for sure be good to go. A 50 will be okay. It's weird because, like, I don't think Ian's built like I am. Like, he's not lugging around a fucking 300-pound fucking pile of shit in that small boat.
Right.
So, like, he probably could go and do. He probably could get away with a 50 and maybe benefit with being able to get a little bit more speed from less weight. Although, that's under the assumption too that the weight is half, you know, if you go with a 50.
Yeah, it's so yeah, Ian, I guess we'd have to go down to a couple different paths here.
Mm-hmm.
If you're looking for a budget, any standard lead acid 12 volt marine battery will do you just fine. If you're kind of looking for like best all around, like convenience, like warranty, stuff like that, spending a little extra money on a lithium that's going to be much, much lighter and have a much, much better warranty.
Yep.
That's kind of your approach. So you're never going to go wrong by just buying a fucking standard 12 volt marine battery. Yeah. That's going to do you just fine. You're going to you're
especially for just the motor.
55 pound. I just bought the 110 amp hour and it didn't last 5 hours.
Really?
Ooh, a lead acid.
I think.
I'm assuming.
Although it depends too on like how are you running it. You know.
Right.
Like if you're running it fast all day long, because like, dude, I have what's my lead acid? Is it 100? Yeah, it's 12 volt lead acid.
So it's a 12 volt lead.
Yeah, 12 volt lead acid.
Wow, it didn't last 5 hours. Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Are you do you have it on constantly? Curious.
He's
for the listeners that are in the chat. He's actively in the chat right now.
Yeah, he's able to jump in.
He's kind of talking to us. So
he says, I was on 4 to 5. I was on 4 to 5 to spots around the pond.
Okay, so that if that's a newer motor, it might be pulling more juice than you think.
Yeah.
Man, Ian, I know it. This is. I mean, I'm going to tell you right now. If you got 125 amp hour lithium, you would never ever have to worry about anything.
Yeah.
But they're pricey. They're
That's
pricey.
the problem.
You're
with
looking
the
at
lithium.
least $600.
Yeah. And some of these are really good because you can, use an app on your phone to check the health of the battery to know how it's doing.
Yeah. So Ian, if you're on 110 amp, I haven't run lead acids in so long that I forgot what the amperage is on them.
Yeah.
But obviously if you got, what'd you say, you got 110 amp hour lead acid and it didn't last 5 hours, then obviously you need to go up. For sure.
Well, there's something up there because my batteries are only about 100 between that and maybe 125. I've got 2 and I rarely have to use the second one. I usually use the larger of the 2, but on my boat, and it's 12 volt. I have a 55 pound thrust trolling motor. It's a power drive Minn Kota. It's nothing fancy. He says it's an Endura. I wonder if that draws differently than the power drive. But I've used that motor for 8 straight. I've used that for multiple 4 or 5 hour days, in a row without having to charge. I have to wonder if something's going on. I will say it was a painful thing to learn, but battery management when you're on the trolling motor is a good thing. I've gotten much more comfortable now with just shutting that motor off, adjusting the direction that it's steering and working with the wind. You know what I mean? And then making small adjustments to my positioning here and there. If it's blowing, if it's really bad, then I find I'm on that motor all day for the most part. Or when I want to pay attention to a specific spot, I'll put myself in the position where it works with the wind and then spot lock there. But even then, I can fish. He says, I've only used it 3 times and hate it. Says, I'm buying the auto boat head Monday. There you go, dude.
Hey, Ian, is it a cranking battery or is it a deep cycle? Because that'll make a big difference.
Yeah, it's got to be a deep cycle marine battery. That'll make a
because if you're using I'm wondering if he's using a cranking battery because that's just meant for short bursts of power.
Yep. Short burst of power, and then it charges, and it charges on an alternator typically. So,
right, which he doesn't have an alternator, obviously.
No, exactly. So
Ian, that would be I'm wondering if you are running that thing on a cranking battery,
and if he is,
because what you have done.
I was going to say if he is running it deep cycle marine from Bass Pro,
deep
really.
cycle.
I would say there might be something fucked up with that battery. Did you put it on the ground before you hooked it up? Because that'll fuck a battery up too. Lead acid, don't put them on the ground. Or at least I've heard. I've never done it. Yeah, that's fucking crazy.
I just that doesn't seem. It seems like
Fucking Nick says, Joe says he's not mechanically minded, but he's building Ron Weasley cars and fixing boats. Fair. I says straight to the battery box, bro. It's fucking weird. I wonder what kind of charger he's using if it's not getting a full charge.
Yeah.
I wonder if it's the Minn Kota charger.
How are you charging that thing?
Yeah. If it's the Minn Kota charger, then it's designed for that, which I believe is a trickle charge, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, that's fucking weird, Ian. Yeah, I would say this is definitely one of these things where he says, bro, I'm a carpenter by trade. I'm clueless. Oh. I would say, yeah.
Well, I joined the military and Bobby was in television. So
yeah, we're fucking all dumbasses. He says 12-volt Harbor Freight battery charger. Okay. All right. It might be a slower charger. It might not be full when it gets out there. Who knows? Yeah. You know what, man? I'm going to actually forward this question over to Matt at Hanks Marine and see if he can't send me a video explaining it, and I'll send it over and we'll see what we have, because we have all this stuff in the chat and we'll talk about this. We'll see what we can put together. But man, that is crazy. Yeah, Joe, that's a good point too about like the difference between a cranking battery and a deep cycle, because they are designed for different shit. It says, bro, I went from 11 bang bang tradesman. He says, I feel you, Joe.
Oh, shit. I didn't know you were an 11 bang bang. No shit, dude. All right. All right.
Fucking
so you get it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll get this shit figured out. But
so
yeah.
11 bang bang is 11 Bravo in the Army.
Oh, okay. So. Okay. Gotcha. That's fucking wonderful, man. All right. So now I think we got a couple of voicemails to get through right here. And we're going to hear from Brian again.
Bobby and Joe, what's up? It's Brian again. I called in last week talking about the trying to fish that spot that was super weedy across the fish ladder on the Nemasket River. So I went back today and I threw in a weightless Texas rig with a Berkeley power worm on there, 7-inch power worm that I trimmed down a little bit. And I threw it right up against that weed edge, close to the bank, and literally no later than 2 seconds after it hit the water, I just got slammed. I ended up pulling out I think it was a 13-inch bass.
Let's go.
Probably, yeah. No, I'm very happy with that. So thank you guys for all the advice. Right line,
dude. That's what this is about,
yeah, Bobby. We get it.
We fucking did it.
We get it right once in a while.
Damn straight, dude. Damn straight. That is awesome. You throw shit against the
wall, it's gonna eventually stick.
That's what I'm saying. It's like half of this stuff is just learning the characteristics of the tools that you're using and then getting creative with how to utilize them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
That is the shit, man. I fucking love it. I fucking love that, dude. Brian, that is awesome. That made my day. Yep. That made this show. Holy shit. Fucking fish ladders extraordinaire. Well, now I got to fuck around with the fish ladder here. Fucking figure that shit out. Yeah, don't be afraid of the grass, man. The grass is good. Now, we did hear from him, and he was a bit upset in FTG. Understandably so. So now we're going to hear from Eli in the live well.
Hey, boys. Got a question from my well. This one is about something that was on the podcast Small Ponds, Big Dreams with Matt and James. When they interviewed Ryan was talking about how when he's like, I know they're in an area, they aren't necessarily biting. He's like, I speed up. I kind of want to have a deep dive. I don't have a particular question as much as I just want to deep dive into, like, what do you do when you know they're in an area but they're not biting? Because I know, like, a lot of people will either, like, they'll go finesse or they'll go excessively big. This is really the first time I've ever heard somebody say, yeah, speed up. Which, I mean, it makes sense. Like, he talked about how you give them a good-sized meal, they have less time to react, they're going to want to go after it. So what are your thoughts on that? Speeding up, slowing down, going finesse, going a lot bigger. Yeah, thoughts. Okay, good boys.
So
I got good thoughts on this.
You
actually.
do? I think I do too. So I'm going to start by saying this. Yes. Yes.
Right.
It takes less time to change your retrieve or cadence than it does to tie on something new. If you haven't adjusted how you're retrieving or working your bait to get fish to bite, and you're cutting things off, you're already fucking up. You're already making a mistake because you're essentially like, I don't even think you have to understand the why as much as just the approach. Like, and this kind of leans toward like confidence baits a little bit as well, because some people like myself, I will often think I'm going to go a little bit slower and then smaller, almost always, you know? But before I go any smaller, if I've tried slower, I'm going to go faster too. Just to know before I take the time of cutting off that bait or even just grabbing a combo with something else and throwing that in there. You know what I mean? So I think I think that number one, you should always be changing your cadence until you're sure that you have a pattern.
Yeah.
You know?
Yep. Yeah. So what... Essentially, like you're just looking at, you know, whether that fish is hungry, whether it's being territorial, you know, you're looking for that reaction versus that feeding, strike, whatever. One thing that people don't talk about very often is that fish could have been caught recently. So it's like super stressed.
Yep.
And, you know, things like that. So there is a time frame that you have to accept that fish, no matter what you throw at it, just isn't going to bite.
It's true.
And nobody ever covers that. Nobody ever thinks of that. Like if that thing had been, especially we see this all the time, Bob, because you know, we only have so many bodies of water. They're small and they're pressured. You know, for instance, I had a fish when I was on Congamon, that North Pond was sitting on a dock, probably a 3-pounder sitting at the edge of the dock, and it didn't matter what I threw at that. I threw everything at that fish at every speed, and it would kind of like move a little bit. And the first thing that came to my mind, I'm like, ooh, someone just caught this thing. Someone just caught this thing, and it's not gonna. I mean, I worked on it for like 10 minutes.
Yeah,
and because I knew there had been other boats up in there, and I'm like, oh, someone already caught this fish, and I am not gonna get it. So yeah, that's another thing, especially if you're sight fishing or have forward facing sonar or something like that. Like, don't like. Sure, throw them different cadences, different baits, whatever, but you have to understand, like, there is going to be a point where you're going to have to move on, and that you have to understand that fish just isn't going to bite.
The other thing too is, and I don't know that we talk enough about this, stealth is huge in fishing. And if you can see that fish can see you potentially. You know what I mean? Or maybe it doesn't even have to see you. Maybe you dropped a 3,700 size terminal tackle box in your kayak. It knows you're there. Maybe you know what I mean? There's a lot going on. Maybe you're standing up to get a good view and the sun's behind you and your shadow goes right over that fish. There's the variables involved. And Joe, you mentioning that fish could have just gotten caught within like an hour, 2 hours, that whole day. You know, maybe it's just going to be like, nope, I'm not touching it. I'm not falling for nothing. You know,
right.
Like, I do think that, you know, sometimes you can run a bait past a fish and it's too slow. They get too good of a look at it, something like that.
Yeah.
Changing cadence is awesome. And I think that's the easiest thing you can do as an angler is just change your cadence.
So it's funny you mentioned about the stealth bobby.
Yep.
Because that is actually, and I don't think I've ever really talked about this on the show. When I sight fish, excuse me. Oh, the steak's trying to come back up. When I sight fish, when I sight fish a fish like that where I see it, I'm not like me and that fish aren't staring at each other as I'm trying to catch it. I do this when I'm sight fishing beds anywhere, whether it's St. Lawrence, local, or I back off, dude. I spot where that fish is and I back way the fuck off.
Yeah.
And then I start fishing it. Because what you said, you got okay, there's this giant thing right above the water, right in front of me. And there's this thing that kind of looks like it could be a fish, but I'm not sure, but something doesn't seem right here. I'm just gonna go ahead and watch this guy and make sure nothing weird happens.
Exactly. Exactly.
Stranger danger, dude. Stranger danger.
It's wild because it's true. There's so many different variables. I remember I'd never even considered when I was fishing in my kayak. I had everything right around me. I drop shit all the time. Does it mean you're never going to catch fish? No, you definitely will. But on those tougher days, it pays to be a little bit better or to be a little bit more cognizant of your presence in the water, of what it is. The other thing too, I think that a lot of people don't think of is so if you throw a jig, let's say, and it gets hung up against a stick or something like that, and you got to shake out of it and you've blown that spot up. If those fish were I wonder what that thing is. Oh, who knows? Now they're I know exactly what's going on. And they've especially if they've been caught before, you know what I mean? I'm not saying that they have these amazing memories and they're oh yeah, I remember that fat bearded fuck that caught me. Yeah, he was a lot of fun. That was great. And he's put me right back. But what I do think is that there is some conditioning over time and that can work for anglers potentially. Maybe they realize that they've survived being caught and they're yep, I'll take a swing on that bait. You know what I mean? But if you blow up a spot,
how often here up north, Bobby, do you catch a fish and look at it be oh, this thing's never been caught? There's all the fish have fucking holes in their jawline from hooks around here.
Giant holes. Yeah, it's crazy, man. Especially after really from where we are, right before Memorial Day, all the way into the end of September, it's just it's brutal, man. It's crazy. All the species too.
Dude, they're hawking up fucking Senkos and Senkos coming out of their ass and shit. Yeah. It's crazy.
Welcome to Massachusetts.
Nope.
Fucking love it. But yeah, I think that's the thing. I think that changing up your cadence is the number one hot tip. The first thing that you should do before you reach for another rod or cut off a bait, change up that cadence a little bit. I think the only time that I think what it gets down to is the only time that you need to stick to what you're doing is when you've established it's working. You know what I mean? So I'll give you an example. There are some days where I love throwing a swim jig, and I love throwing a swim jig everywhere, in grass, in wood. Yeah. I throw it all over the place, and I will take that and I will flip it into heavy timber, where it's just just big logs and stumps and shit, and just throw it in there and then weave it like a jig, manipulating it with the rod and then swim it back. But I also there are some days where I'll flip it into stuff and I don't even have to get necessarily in it. I just have to do that Alabama shake where I'm shaking that rod tip and slowly turning the handle, and that's the retrieve that they want. And after I've caught 2 or 3, I'm okay, I kind of have an idea. Now I'm sort of dialed. I know what's going on. Or it might be again, finesse swim baits. Some days, they will just smash them if they're on the bottom, Other days, I got to swim it up above them and to get them to react. And other times I got to burn it with a heavier weight so that I can run it deeper. It's crazy. You know?
Yep.
Oh, man. Ryan's a fucking wealth of information, though. Like, you cannot go wrong listening to Ryan Parker at any fucking time.
Right.
Like, yeah, no, he knows his shit. Absolutely. But yeah, 100%. Like, even before you downsize, like, I would always say, like, oh, yeah, downsize. But, like, yeah, if you can adjust a little bit and make some, that's why those versatile baits are some of my favorites. You know, they totally are, you know. Good show this week, Joe. Solid show all the way around.
Yeah, man.
Lots of really,
Glad
really
I made
good
it.
stuff.
Glad I made it.
Imagine that, dude, right?
I know, it got weird there for a minute.
It did get weird. It was kind of nuts. You have no idea. I had Binya. He's on the water in his kayak with his phone set up and his DJI mic, and he's like, okay, I'm doing this. This is going to be great. And he couldn't get his headphones and shit to work at the same time as the mic. So it's just, we'll edit that part later, but my goodness, what a show.
Yeah.
I have, I gotta get things moving, folks. It's Friday night. It's game on. We will see you guys in 7 days with more Jigs and freaking Bigs goodness, man. We are just about to enter the month of June. It's going to be a very, very busy month for me. I'm really looking forward to the team tournament. But we've got all kinds of good stuff lined up in June for you guys. And as we get closer to that first couple of weeks of August with all of these good events, stay tuned to Jigs and Bigs on all of our social media, on Facebook, Instagram, all kinds of stuff. And there will be content following all into, as we get into some of these events, you know, we'll cover them as well. I know we're recording at Hoodlum Fest. I don't know if we're doing any recording at the Boston Anglers event at Tackle Box Brewing. I'm not 100% sure. I got to talk to Matt about that, and I'd love to get him on actually and just talk about all the details, get all the information. It's going to be a whole lot of fun. I might end up having to bring my dog actually to that one because the girls are going on a girls trip, and I'm like, I don't know, maybe. I don't know. We'll see what happens. Anyway, guys, you have a good one. Joe, you got anything you want to wrap up with before we go?
I got nothing, man.
I love it. You guys have a good one. Thanks so much for checking out Jigs and Bigs. Remember, rate and review us if you enjoyed the show. And don't be afraid. Put this number in your phone, 413-324-8519. Give us a call or a text on the hotline. Let us know what the hell's going on, how things are going. If you even want to just give us a shout out, we'll play it on the show. Have yourselves a good one, guys. We'll see you next time.
Tits and ass, smoke some grass.
Yeah! To the stories we told, every bite, every miss, every moment on hold. You showed up till then, stayed through it all. Now we're reeling it back as the night starts to fall.